Hey YouTube, it's Marida and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. In this edition, we are going to talk about or continue my series, My Narcissistic Marriage, My Road to Recovery, and today's topic is going to be jealousy. So if you want to know how my husband, Narcissist, was a jealous type person, definitely stay tuned. So we are back. And so my name is Marida from the Nurse Lounge. And again, this video or this series is really about my dealings with a narcissist and the things that I've endured and how I am on my road to recovery. And I want to continue to thank you all for your continued support in helping me and listening to me when I talk about these issues. I am actually in a good place right now. So I thank you for your prayers and your continued support. I'm in a great place right now, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I've picked this series to share with you all because there are so many people who are going through these things who may feel embarrassed about what they're going through or may not even know they're going through something. They just think something's different or off with a relationship. And I want to shed light on this topic of narcissism because even people closest to me thought I was just coming up with something or just simply saying he's a narcissist, as that's a term that we throw around, and didn't understand the gravity or the severity, shall I say, of this mental or personality disorder. Now, I will say this. My husband has not been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. He's not been diagnosed with it. However, based off of my research, I can tell you that he fits the criteria for that disorder because he checks off all the boxes. Now, with that being said, we all have narcissistic traits from time to time. We all can be selfish. We all can be self-absorbed. We all can not really think about anybody else. We all can want what we want when we want it. However, do we exhibit those types of behaviors all the time? Do we lack empathy? Narcissists lack empathy. They cannot feel for anyone else or anybody's situation. They play the victim. It's all about them. But in this video, we're going to talk about, again, his jealousy. And basically, him being jealous rooted its ugly head. That envious nature rooted its ugly head very early on. And of course, like I've told you in many other videos, I have missed the red flags. So they want to compete with you. And again, when we met, and I'm not going to go through the whole story because I have other videos that kind of dive into how we met and things like that. But I will link this playlist to this video so that you can go back and catch up on everything we've talked about. I think this is maybe my 7th or 8th video. Who knows? And who knows when it will be played and aired and what order. So this is several videos into this series. But I will link the playlist at the end. And he has always been one who wanted to try to compete with me. And it was never me and him working towards a common goal. It would be where if I did something, he would try to do that and then better, like that one-upper kind of person. If you got a new phone, he got 4 new phones type of thing. And he could not be happy for you in your moment because he's too busy trying to plan his moment because he wants the attention, of course, back on him. And I remember when I had my second son, and he said something along the fact that he said, you know what? I'm not getting any attention. The baby's getting all the attention and I don't really like it. Now, at first I thought he was just joking, right? I thought he was just joking when he said that because, of course, any new mom with any new baby or new mom again, maybe you've had several children, but this is a newer baby. She has to focus on the baby. The baby has needs. The baby has to be taken care of. And not to be vulgar or nasty or whatever, but he was like, well, he gets the breast and everything. Well, he was breastfeeding. That's why the baby was getting the breast. But, you know, I guess he felt like that took away from his intimacy that we would have. But honestly, when you first have a baby, that's the last thing you're thinking about is that type of thing. So that was a clue right there that I didn't realize that he was definitely having some issues with the fact that my time had to be diverted from him to the new baby. Another time is when it would be these subtle things like our work hours. Now, if you watch my video, you know that I'm a registered nurse. And if you work full time on the floor, we only have to work 3 shifts per week. So we work 36 hours per week normally. I'm not talking about your call and stuff like that. But we work 36 hours per week normally, and that's it. So that means we can work 3 days a week. We can work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and be off for the entire rest of that week until the next week. Or we could work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week and work Thursday, Friday, Saturday of the next week and have all that time off in between so we could take vacations and do what we want to do, have trips, and not even have to use PTO or anything for that. Well, he has, as I've stated before, he has to work. So for me to work 3 shifts per week, I could bring home a certain amount of money. Okay. And I won't really get into how much money just because of the fact that number varies for everybody to work those same 3 shifts. But nurses make decent money for the most part. Okay. And keep in mind, so what I would make in 3 days, what I would make in 3 shifts, what I would bring home, let's just say bring home in 3 shifts. Okay. It would take him, let's say, and that's 36 hours, 3 shifts, 36 hours, what I would bring home. It would take him at least, let me think. It would take him at least, well, you know what? Here it is. What I brought home in 3 shifts, it took him 1 month working 40 hours per week to bring home. Now you do the math on that. You don't even have to know how much everybody made to know there's something different with that. I work 3 shifts per week and he has to work 40 hours per week for 4 weeks to make what I made in those 3 shifts. So when I would be at home, sitting at home and just sitting here and taking care of the kids or taking them to their events or taking them to the doctor or just sitting here doing nothing, working on YouTube videos or whatever I happened to be doing. And at the time I wasn't monetized. So it was just me doing this as a hobby, which is still as a hobby for me, but that's not the point. He would be like, okay, well, you work, you don't even work. That's what he would say. You don't even work. And I'm like, I don't have to work as hard as you do. That was the issue. I said, because you know what? I went to school to give me options so I wouldn't have to work that hard. I don't want to work 40 hours a week if I don't have to. Or let's just say if I work 40 hours a week, which is our 3 days, 36 hours a week, which is our 3 days, but yet you working 5 days a week, sometimes 6 to get in your 40 hours and you're doing that times 4 weeks and it takes you that long to get the same amount of money I make. That's not my fault or my problem. So that always became my issue when he would throw that in my face. That, oh, you up here, you ain't even working. And he would throw that in my face all the time. You don't even work. You don't even work. You just sit there and work your 1 to 2 days. But yet I'm making the same amount of money, if not more than you making when you have to work for a whole month to make the same amount of money I make. And then many of you know I'm a nurse educator. So for the month of, and I did clinicals at that time, clinicals only. So clinicals will be done in April or be done in November. But I would get a check. I still get paid for the entire semester. So I'll get a check still in either December or May, even though I haven't did any clinicals that month. Well, he could not stand the fact that I'm sitting at home for an entire month and getting paid, getting a check, and I didn't have to physically go work for it because that's how I get paid. That's the nature of what I do. Again, when you have better options, you have better jobs, you don't have to work quite as hard. I'm not saying I don't work hard. I'm just saying I don't have to work as hard as he did or does because he doesn't make the same kind of money I do. So that's example number 2 when it came to that. Number 3, that piggybacks off of number 2, is the fact that I've always went on to get higher education. And because I went on to get my master's degree when I was with him and now my doctoral degree with him, kinda, because he's gone, but we're still legally married. That's always been an issue because now I don't have to do even less. I do even less work for more money because of course I have the education that gave me the options to do that. But when you choose not to have the education, you choose not to seek out job positions that would give you a little bit more authority, a little bit more control, then you are going to be the bottom of the totem pole kind of worker. And that's what you get. So he would always be jealous, much like anybody else would who want to throw shade about the fact that I'm getting advanced degrees, but yet they didn't want to do it with their life. That's my problem, that you don't want to do nothing in your life. So those are kind of things that he would do. And jealousy or the envious nature of him would rear its ugly head. That green-eyed monster would rear his ugly head because he would be so jealous. Or when I get up and say, okay, I'm about to, take the kids here, that, and the other. Well, he got to get up and go to work. And mind you, he worked 2 jobs. And still only bringing home, well, with the second job, he brought home maybe an additional $500 to $600 a month. So total for an entire month, he's bringing home like $1,600 a month. And if I worked 6 shifts, I would still make more than what he brought home with 2 jobs, again, like that. And that's his nature. He was a jealous kind of person. And anything that I had or I did, so example, you know what, I got a new iPhone, which he doesn't know that because he's not here. But when I did get new iPhones, I would just go get it, because of the fact that I had the money or the ability to get it. Now, mind you, I have decent credit. Mind you, I have a reputable account with Verizon. I don't have to go get some of these prepaid phones. I'm not knocking those who do. I'm just saying this is where I am in my life right now, where I don't have to do that for the moment, for now. There was a time where I had to do things like that, but now I don't have to. But at the same time, I'm making sure that I can do those things because I'm working hard to achieve those things. So he was always jealous of those kinds of things. If I came home with a new purchase, or if I came home with new shoes for the kids, like, why do they get new shoes and I don't? Because you ain't working. That's why. And because you need to help pay the bills in the house. Now, mind you, I'm the one who pays majority of the bills anyway. I pay for our housing, so, and then he would take his money and blow it on other things where we couldn't use it for anything, but yet you don't have any money for anything. That's the kind of jealousy that I'm talking about. He was very envious of me and my accomplishments. He'd be envious if someone posted something or gave me accolades on Facebook about, oh, you're doing such a great job with your program. Congratulations on graduating from the doctoral program. He never even acknowledged that I received it. The last time that he hasn't even acknowledged anything about the program. So again, that's how I know he's jealous, and it is what it is. That's who he is. But anyway, enough about that. I'm not even going to belabor this video. He's a jealous kind of person. That's typically how they are. They're very jealous kind of people. They want the attention for themselves and don't like it when you get attention. But I want to say this is a disclaimer. I am not a therapist. I'm not a coach, life coach. I'm not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I'm not any of those things. I am a registered nurse who happens to be married to a narcissist, and know from research, from videos that I've watched, that this is who they are to a T. Now, I will say this. There's several people on here on YouTube that I do watch for my own healing and for my own understanding. And some of those are Dr. Les Carter, Surviving Narcissism, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissism Abuse, Pink Girl Teaches, Sarah Speaks, R.C. Blakes Jr., who's a pastor, and Associate Direct, and the newest one. And I got interrupted, so I'm finishing this video now. But and the newest one that I watch is called Hario Ovadatop. So if you want to see who I've been listening to for narcissism type videos, that is who I've been listening to. And that's who I've been listening to. They have been great people for me to follow. Ignore that I've taken my stuff off and got stuff all in the back. That's just kind of how it is around here at my house. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.